Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
This is your before and after story, where your first steps towards a new life-changing career begin. Southeastern College can take you there. We offer in-demand hybrid and online programs with hands-on training, led by in-field career professionals, and career services to put you on the path to a rewarding and fulfilling future. This is where your transformation begins. Southeastern College, your future is bright. Visit sec.edu to get started.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Friday, June 13th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 86. In hour 3 of today's show, JD Pickell of On3 Sports hops on at 9 a.m. Then Peter Burns at 9:30. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Hands to Hester, and Hester, yep, got it, 5 out of 5.
From carrying each other to a natty to carrying each other on the air.
Flynn is back to throw from the end zone. Goal!
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, it's Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 3, OTB, here on this Friday morning. Let's keep these weekend vibes going. Very excited, as always, to catch up with our next guest. JD Pickell joins us, of course, the host of The Hard Count there on 3. JD, always a pleasure, sir. Hope you're doing well.
Dude, I'm doing phenomenal. Happy Friday. What a lineup, too. I mean, I'm batting right in between Big Mike and Peter Burns. Are you joking? Like, what a launch pad, boys. I'm fired up to be on with y'all.
Well, I mean, definitely a downgrade once we go from you to Peter, though.
Yeah, I mean, that is not my assessment to make, but I am honored you said that.
JD, somebody we were talking to here in studio right before you hopped on. I got to ask, who is Cornell's rival in the Ivy League? Because I've done a lot of different shows, and me and Dallin Cup do shows. He was a guy that played basketball for Columbia. I've had great teammates that have played in the Ivy League, and there's always like that one team that every Ivy League school just does not like.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of the bad boys of the Ivy League. I'm not going to lie to you. We don't like anybody. Nobody likes us, and we love it that way. I think on paper, we share a state with Columbia. So the Empire State Bowl is what we play at the end of the year when you battle for the state of New York, which is, I mean, it gets ugly, boys. You think Auburn, Alabama gets ugly. This one is there's no love lost. We got SAT scores being thrashed. We got trust funds being talked about. But I will say this: anybody in the conference, we all just kind of hate Harvard, Yale, Princeton because they're the most pinkies up operation of the whole. They like to throw their name around. When we all know you get into school there, they grade you on a curve, and you can just ride that all the way to graduation. We actually have academic integrity over at our school. But I hope that answers your question.
No, it's actually perfect. And gosh, now we've got to rethink a lot. So my oldest son's going to be a sophomore. He is a large human being. He is like almost 6'2", 250. I think he's got a real chance to play some college football. And my wife, his mom, gets mad at me because I'm like, ever since he was little, I've envisioned him playing in a winged helmet, but not for Michigan, not for Delaware, for Princeton. But you just maybe changed my mind there with the way you said the pinky up, because look, I can't have a tagline of too gritty to be pretty and then have a pinky up son.
I'm so glad you're saying it that way, and I'm so glad that you've already mentioned Princeton in that context. Listen, you don't want your son to go to school and have a college experience in Princeton, New Jersey. I mean, that's not nobody's talking about their memories out. I mean, also, I'll say this too: there's no Greek life there. They have eating clubs. You don't want your son talking about eating clubs as a college experience. You want him talking about being upstate in the orchards at a school with a dairy farm. That's, I think, more than the too gritty to be pretty mantra for you. So yeah, we'll talk off the air. We'll get an NIL together, and we'll get this thing. We'll make this thing happen.
Look, fair enough. One of my favorite teammates ever played at Cornell, so I can certainly get behind that. Eating club. I'll have to text you about that. I don't know what in the hell an eating club is, but I'll text you. I'll get that information. Of course, JD, wanted to have you on, talk a little LSU, talk a little SEC. But like before I, throw any thoughts into your brain, don't want to cloud your judgment here. Your initial thoughts on this 2025 LSU football team.
I love this LSU football team in 2025. And that's not just because I'm on y'all's wonderful program right now. It is genuinely a thing to me where last time we got to talk, Jacob, together on another show that you have rolling, I was just telling you, like, the longer we go into the offseason, the more I'm looking at LSU, and I'm running out of reasons to not like them. And I understand there's the offensive line that, you're just kind of wait and see about a little bit when you lose a Will Campbell. And I know there's a little bit of hey, how do the portal pieces fit together? But, like, on paper, and the offseason is played on paper, I fall more and more in love with LSU every day. And I will say this, too, because we get a lot of pushback on our show around Brian Kelly, and I can't imagine the same for y'all. I can't imagine anyone in their right mind is saying a negative word about that man. But if they are seeing him as maybe a reason to not be successful in 2025, I go back and look at the course of his career, and it's like, one, winning a national championship is really freaking hard. They only give out one a year to one of 130-plus teams. We're at 136 now, so that's the first part. The other part is he's coached over 20 years and won north of 70% of his games. Doesn't feel like he's the problem if that's the metric we're working with. So I love LSU. I love the roster. I love Nuss. I love all that.
I think the difference this year is going to be, like, actually having depth, because LSU's had top-line talent. We could go with Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. Like, we could give you top-end talent, Will Campbell, like you just mentioned. But the problem, I think, has been you're so paper thin in some of these positions. Like, one injury really caught. Like, even last year, like, you have a guard, Dellinger, go down in the A&M game, and it was like doomsday for you. Like, at a place like LSU, like, you got to be able to have another guard that can go in there, and it's not something that's a blaring just deficiency for you. So I think what they've added in the portal has created some great competition as well, because even those portal pieces now on the offensive line, they're not guaranteed to start, because the players that were brought in through high school recruiting, they knew they had to kind of raise their level of play. And then they played this, air quote, bomb squad that they had to put up against Baylor in a bowl game, played really well against a pretty good Baylor team. And so I think just having more bodies that you can count on is going to help LSU this year.
Even just the awareness to exactly what you just said, go through a season, realize, hey, what we had in place wasn't good enough. So it felt like to me, Jacob, that they were a team that decided to not just participate in the portal, but actually go like win in the portal.
Yeah.
You know, we all have those classes where it's like you get credit for speaking, you know, and you raise your hand. It's like, oh, you answered a question. Good for him. Like they went from doing that to now actually like making study guides, passing tests, and doing more than passing tests, doing the extra credit. And so now they got a top 2 portal class according to our metrics at On3. And I think that's going to be a massive part of this. One more thing I'll add too, Garrett Nussmeier being in a situation now to where just mentally knowing what he's walking into when he walks into a semi sort of playoff situation in the month of November, early October, like when he goes and plays against Alabama, even when it was at home, you know, that was his first time having to deal with that kind of pressure. And that's not to say that it got to him or didn't get to him, but now he knows what that feels like. I think that's only going to lead to a better performance from him on the field.
This does feel like the year of the quarterback in the SEC. So certainly Garrett Nussmeier is right there at the top of that conversation. But you look at DJ Lagway, you look at Lenora Sellers, you look at everybody that's coming back. I mean, the unknown of Arch Manning, but you got Diego Pavia you could throw into that conversation who might not get the headlines. Mateer coming over from Wazoo and what he did in his career going to Oklahoma. Like from top to bottom, this is one of the best years I can remember in the SEC. And what's funny about it, JD, is the teams with the questions are like Alabama and Georgia.
Yeah. And like you said, Texas, like the best rosters have sort of this unknown at quarterback, which to me, I think you look across college football even. Like you said the SEC, and you're absolutely correct. And we're looking, too, at Ohio State, looking at Oregon. I mean, Penn State has the most proven thing at quarterback, and we're still not sure if they can beat a team with a logo of any substance. So I think going back to the SEC, what you just said, that to me makes this extremely intriguing, like you mentioned, but also I think it just continues to favor LSU because they are the best combination right now in my mind of what you just said, top tier roster plus a proven commodity at quarterback, and then the opportunity across the SEC of like, we don't know exactly what we're getting from Gunnar Stockton, exactly what we're getting from Arch Manning. And so all that to me builds into this idea of I think LSU will be playing in Atlanta for an SEC championship on conference title weekend. I really do.
Yeah, one of those quarterbacks that you were mentioning across the country, LSU is going to face in week number 1, Cade Klubnik. I mean, last year certainly took a lot. I mean, just continued to take big strides. I mean, leaps from what he was the year before. And it was probably a little bit unfair, the expectation that he had thrown on him when he was a young football player. But, I mean, last year really showed what he could be, what we all thought he was going to be. And you talk about marquee matchups up on the blinking lights right there, LSU, Clemson, their version of Death Valley, prime time. It is going to be – I know Texas and Ohio State's going to get all the conversation, game days there. But if you're giving me a game, and not just because, I'm going to, be there calling the game, whatever, you're giving me a game that I would watch from start to finish in week number 1, how can it not be that game between those teams and those two quarterbacks?
Oh, I mean, in terms of impact, like that might be the one when it comes to fan base vibes. That will be the most impactful because, I mean, if Brian Kelly loses a week 1 game again, and he put a pretty solid fist to that table in Vegas last year, I should say, in week 1, he may Bills Mafia this whole thing if they lose again. I mean, it may be top row onto the table, crack that thing. And I mean, I'd be here for the content that would provide. But no, I mean, also too, if you're Clemson, like exactly what we're saying with LSU as to how much they have, via the portal and the roster and the quarterback, like it may not be so much through the portal, but Clemson has the best returning production, the most returning production in all of college football. Like if there's another team up there with LSU saying, hey, this is our year, it's absolutely Clemson. And I mean, credit Clemson too for the way that I think they have kind of adjusted their approach as well. And that's not saying that Dabo's gone gung-ho in the portal or that they're, throwing out the biggest bag in NIL, but the thing that we've all been asking of Clemson for a while now, it feels like, is do you have guys on the outside that can actually separate and strike a little bit of uneasiness into the heart of a secondary? And for the longest time, that was missing. And that was what made old Clemson so good is the Mike Williams, the Artavius Scott, and, you go down the line. Now you have, granted they're young, but a Brian Wesco, a TJ Moore, you got the vet and Antonio Williams back. So there's a lot more names for Clemson now where I think they feel a lot better as to the formula they can actually play with. You mentioned Cade Klubnik. Give him a lot of credit, I think, nationally for just his resilience, because I think we see a lot of times quarterbacks play with a lot of expectations. They play too early, and then either their confidence gets bruised or they develop bad habits or whatever it ends up being. Cade Klubnik didn't have all the success in the world from the jump, but ended up being able to stay the course, develop, keep the main thing. And now looking at a season where I think a lot of people will have him on, the Heisman watch list going into the year.
JD, I do want to bounce real quick to the Big 12. Last year, Arizona State, and what a great year. And Cam Scatterbo, love watching that guy play, obviously. I mean, somebody that, he won the Meathead Player of the Year award on my other show, and so they're going to be without him. But the Big 12 is very interesting to me because I think they're going to have some really good football teams, and it's going to be a battle to see who wins that league. But I was thinking about you the other day, man. We had like 3 guests on my SiriusXM show, and they all were pointing to Baylor being potentially this year's Arizona State. So I know you've got something ready to go and wax poetic about the Baylor Bears.
Well, one, I would say, who has the worst odds to win the conference? Let's just bet them, because that was ASU a year ago,
True,
and so maybe we cash in.
Yeah.
But no, man, the Bears. I think doing this job at a level where we're talking about all the teams, which is such a blessing and a blast, has maybe soured some of that relationship in Waco for myself and the fan base. I want them to know I can't quit them. I wish I could. I can't quit them. And this year, you bring back Sawyer Robertson, their top 10 in returning production. Dave Aranda is the stoic of college football. There's a lot to like there. And so I think what you just said about Baylor kind of being that sneaky, maybe a little bit lower or under the radar kind of team. I love the way their schedule works together, which is funny to say because you open with Auburn and Waco.
Yeah. But
we talk a lot on our show about teams that get to, kind of step under the heavy bar early on in the season.
Right.
I know y'all both played ball, so whenever you're going to max, a lot of these different strength staffs will have you put something on your back before you squat that you don't actually squat with, just to fire up the nervous system and kind of have you feel what it's like to have that weight on your back before you go a little lighter and squat it. That's Baylor when they play Auburn early. That's Baylor when they play SMU early. That's Baylor when they play ASU early. And so if you can get out of that stretch with one loss and find yourself in a spot, or at least one Big 12 loss, I should say, and find yourself in a spot where, you got to work into compete for Big 12 championship, I'm believing, all right? Like that song in Shrek, man, I'm a believer.
Hey, and that's all you got to have is a little belief, just a little bit of faith there. So, JD, man, we truly do appreciate your time, know how busy you are. So thanks for hopping on with us and giving us a couple of minutes down here in Baton Rouge.
Man, always a pleasure. I appreciate y'all. Hey, Matt, welcome, man. You're doing a phenomenal job. It's a blast talking to you, and excited to watch y'all just absolutely continue to skyrocket this thing.
I appreciate that, JD, man. All is well. We'll catch up again with you soon.
Y'all have a great one.
JD didn't know Matt's on vacation.
Yeah, but you know what? Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Does that mean me and Matt sound alike?
Not really, not at all.
Do all white guys sound alike? Is that what he just said?
I mean,
A little discrimination.
I felt like it.
Or
I do feel bad. He thought Matt was here.
maybe he's just like Matt doesn't have much to say ever. So
now,
he just doesn't realize
to
he's
be
gone.
fair, we had an interview last week where it was a 17-minute interview and Matt asked one question.
Okay.
So maybe he thought that's what was going on there.
I will take JD Pickell as one of those guys that does his research. So he probably did watch that and was like, oh, yeah, this guy's, he holds his tongue. So it's like one of those moments where it's like, oh, good talking, Matt, knowing he didn't say a word. Like, yeah, good talking.
Oh, Flynn's such a slappy.
I still haven't worked with him yet. That's the crazy part. That's why I was like kind of hyped up to them. Like, yeah, Flynn's going to be
What would have been
here.
better is if JD was like, all right, Jake, T-Bob, see you later. That would have been better.
Now, he knows my boy T-Bob would have got a question in. He would not have let me talk that long.
I run our YouTube channel, obviously, and I've been, replying to a couple of people asking where T-Bob is. And this one guy goes, what happened to T-Bob? I listen every single day. Where'd he go? And I'm like, in the nicest way possible, be like, my guy, he's been gone 3 weeks, so you don't listen every day.
You listen every single day.
It's been 3 weeks now.
Yeah, but our boys' content is starting to get out on Barstool.
It is.
Starting to get
About
there.
time.
Starting to get in that workflow. So,
It's about time because I complain to Taylor every day. I'd be like, dude.
I know, yeah, me too. I'm like, hold up, where's our boy?
Yeah, I'm like,
why is he not on?
I'm like,
what's
left
going
for
on
what?
here?
Like, you're not
Well,
even.
I knew the situation, but I was like, hey, Barstool, use this guy.
Literally.
Right? He is going to be, he's a star, but he's going to be even more of a star there. So glad to see our boy is getting his run, and he is going to take over very, very soon. All right, we will step away. We've got part-time Peter Burns joining us in about 13 minutes from now. More OTB when we come back here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the bench.
All right, go to centralplumbing.org. Centralplumbing.org is the website. 225-925-8552 is the 24/7, 365 game day, weekend, holiday emergency service line. I'm not wishing this on you, but if it is about 8:30 tomorrow night and you've got an issue and it is an emergency, well, it's a weekend, it's game day, kind of a holiday when LSU's in Omaha. I know you don't want to deal with that. That's why Central Plumbing is there. They'll be there to fix whatever emergency issue you have. Again, 225-925-8552. And don't allow the name to fool you. Not just in Central. Sure, they can help you out in Central, duh. The greater Baton Rouge area, Central Plumbing can help you out. They can help you today. They can help you tomorrow. They can help you any day, anytime. Go to the website today, centralplumbing.org.
From the locker room to the airwaves, it's Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
I was trying to explain this to EJ Manuel, my co-host on Off Campus. He was like, okay, well, like, he's from Virginia. He's like, I'm from Virginia. Like, we do consider that the South. I'm like, yeah, I think a lot of people consider Virginia the South. Like, maybe not.
Technically, yes, it is.
Yeah.
And
we started talking about it, and he's like, and then I went to Florida State. That's the Southeast. He's like, you went to LSU. That's the Southeast. I'm like, I said, I don't know. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, we're Louisiana. He's like, yeah, no, I know. Louisiana, Southeast. I was like, no. Like, we're Louisiana. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, I mean.
If you know, you know.
It's kind of like that.
If you know, you know.
It's like the South is Alabama and Mississippi and like
Texas.
And
you still, people.
Like
some
the
people
Southeast, I think
Texas
of like
sometimes.
Georgia and Florida, and I think of the Carolinas.
Yeah, both South
But
Carolina,
I was like,
North Carolina.
Louisiana's like, all right, we're Louisiana.
Yeah.
Like you can. I was like, look, if you don't know what I'm saying, then we're not ever going to get there. But I was like, we're kind of our own thing.
Really though, I mean, where else could you go in the world?
I just think it's so like the state from top to bottom. Yeah. There's so many different versions of Louisiana. It's just Louisiana.
Well, like I was saying, like where else could you go in the world? You can go to the gas station, get you a hot plate, and get you some liquor, all in the same. Like it don't gotta be. It can be 10 o'clock at night. Some places the liquor store closes at a certain time, so you can't even go get something. You can go to the gas station, get you a plate of food, some liquor, some lotto tickets, whatever. Like that's Louisiana. Can't really do that
and a
anymore.
white T-shirt.
EJ needs to understand, like, Louisiana's a vibe, no offense. Virginia's kind of lame.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like, what's cool about Virginia?
I don't
What's
know.
cool about Virginia?
Virginia's not bad. Virginia's not bad.
Virginia Tech's not even good
I don't even know
anymore,
what's
and
in
I like
Virginia.
Virginia Tech. They're not even good anymore. Like, what?
I couldn't tell you nothing about Virginia. I might say something about me though, because I don't. Other than like I know it's the DMV, the DMV area, but
Gulf South says Louisiana, Texas, and Florida are their own places.
yeah, I can agree with that.
Florida's got a little bit of like Louisiana as far as like the Panhandle's different than Orlando. Orlando's different than Tampa. Tampa's certainly different than the Miami area. So it's got a lot of different types of people in the same state as well, like different cultures and different just things that they do within said culture. So
yeah, I'm
behind that.
I'm about to say, especially Texas too, though, because Texas is driving through Texas. That's like one of the worst things you can do. It's unbearable, unbearable, man.
Tristan Abear, I just moved to Virginia last year after my whole life in Louisiana. Not a day goes by that I don't miss home.
Thank you, Tristan.
Thank you.
Like, Virginia just seems like it sucks.
Really though, like what do you go do out there? What's a poppin' city?
Everybody's
Virginia?
gonna say beaches, Virginia beaches. I guarantee you suck. Guarantee they suck.
Damn, that's where EJ's from, Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach, like okay.
Now you look at who's come out of that area though, like sports wise.
Michael Vick,
Virginia's a great
Percy
sports
Harvin.
state.
I mean, I like
Percy Harvin.
dogs
That's a
have
dog.
come out of that spot. EJ and Percy played AAU basketball, I think, together growing up.
Really?
Yeah.
See, why did EJ and Percy Harvin leave the state to go to college? Because they couldn't wait to leave Virginia, guys.
Pretty good argument for you.
Banger. We need a soundboard.
EJ was like an inch from coming to LSU.
Really?
I mean, so can you imagine? EJ would have been the quarterback on the 11 team.
Oh my goodness!
I know.
That's funny you say that because I was watching.
He was so Jimbo got the job at Florida State,
and that's why he brought him.
And yeah,
okay.
But I mean, he was a hair from going to LSU.
That would have been beautiful because go watch that that Alabama game, the 7-0 game, well 7 whatever, the greatest game in the century. Jordan Jefferson was terrible, and the other guy Lee was god awful too. I'm like, bro, this is quarterback play a decade ago. Like dude, Jefferson stunk, and then I think Lee threw a pick on the first play or something. They benched him immediately, and I was like, yeah, this is hard to watch. And AJ McCarron wasn't nothing special either, but he was just making the right plays. So it was like quarterback play a decade ago is way different than what it is.
And look at what it's at right now in the SEC.
Yeah, you got some dogs.
Thriving quarterback play. All right, Tay, it is time now for the NFL story of the day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
Oh, we got two quick ones here, and we'll start with the fun one, the one that doesn't make me mad. Derrick Henry might be in the next Adam Sandler movie if he rushes for 2,000 yards. So Derrick Henry was on the Dan Patrick show back on Tuesday, and Patrick told Henry, because Dan Patrick and Adam Sandler are good friends, that he would get Derrick Henry in an Adam Sandler movie if he ran for 2,000 yards again this season. And just 2 days after that, Adam Sandler made a video sending it to Derrick Henry, and he said 2,000 yards this year not only gets you in a movie, but we'll have a nice dinner together and talk trash about Dan Patrick. So it's kind of a little fun thing they're doing there, a little extra incentive, because apparently Derrick Henry was saying that he is a big fan of the Adam Sandler movie. So Derrick Henry may be putting his acting chops to use if he rushes for 2K again this year. That's the fun one, okay?
Yeah,
the not so fun
right,
one is Shamar Stewart. So Shamar Stewart, for those who don't know, drafted out of Texas A&M, all on potential because he did next to nothing this year in college football. He has not signed his rookie contract yet. He has left mandatory minicamp with the Cincinnati Bengals, and it's not because the Bengals are lowballing him, because I originally was like, okay, they're notorious for doing this, but he was set to get $18.4 million based on where he was drafted.
Yep.
That's what he was going to get. But the Bengals were trying to put language in the contract essentially saying that they would be allowed to void any guaranteed money if he were to get in trouble, get suspended for any reason, or be cut by the team. They would void any of the future guaranteed money. And Shamar Stewart has completely walked away from the table. And there is rumors now that according to the CBA, which was modified recently, Stewart could actually re-enter the NFL draft in 2026. So if he is not signed by November 11th with any team, he could sit out the remainder of the year and actually re-enter the draft in 2026. I don't think we'll see that happen. I mean, that's obviously, I can't remember that ever happening before. But look, I don't know how much leverage Stewart has here. He wasn't super productive at A&M. I imagine that's why they wanted to add that clause in case he was cut. He left the Senior Bowl early, if you remember.
I do.
You probably remember that. You were down there.
Yeah.
Now he's left a mandatory minicamp. I understand you want the contract a certain way, but I think this is a bad look for him. I think this is a bad look for the Bengals. I mean, there's just a lot to unpack here.
Yeah. What are we doing here? I mean, we now have slotted money.
Yeah, and he's
in the draft.
Set to
and
get
like we have, hey, this is what this pick got last year. Here's what he's going to get this year. And there's certain ways we do contracts so we don't have to deal with this anymore. Remember, we used to have holdouts all the time, well into training camp. Nobody does that anymore. So, like, the Bengals, they got to stop doing stupid stuff. Like, the Bengals have to run their organization like they have a generational star at quarterback.
Yeah.
And stop balling on a budget. Like, you spent the money on receivers, but like Trey Hendrickson's just chilling.
I'm using the Shamar. I'm moving on from Shamar Stewart. I'm using that money on Trey Hendrickson.
I mean,
I think that relationship. I think it's already damaged. I don't think he will play there again.
So
you would get a comp pick if you don't sign him.
You would.
Like
that's my next question. Well, so I'm thinking, treat it like the Bengals didn't have a first-round pick this year. Just give them 2 next year, like something like that. But I mentioned Stewart could be drafted again in 2026. But according to the CBA, any team can draft him except for the Cincinnati Bengals. So they're not allowed to redraft a player, even though they wouldn't anyways, because that relationship would be completely fractured. But, yeah, he could actually re-enter. So it's November 11th is the last day to sign. If he doesn't, he could sit out the whole year, re-enter.
The Bengals keep on being the Bengals. It's just, man.
So I was watching the Pat McAfee show, and he had Adam Schefter on there talking about it, and he's like, "Dude, it should take 3 minutes to sign your rookie. Like that's how easy the CBA has
sure.
it
It's so
set
easy.
up. Like it's in there for you to have this money already ready to go." And he's like, "They're sitting there trying to, like you said, put this clause in there, but you didn't do that to nobody else." And so it's like he doesn't want to be the guinea pig in the situation and set that precedent that I'm going to be the test dummy on this new whatever. So that's what Adam Schefter was saying.
I know he doesn't want it in his clause. I get that. I don't know anything about Shamar Stewart. To me, there's a reason the Bengals chose to do it to him. I mean, just outside looking in. I don't know the situation, but
Bengals are
being.
I mean,
Bungles. But yeah, Schefter was like, "Dude, it should take 3 minutes. There's no reason this should be."
There's not. It's slotted. Give him what everybody else got in those slots around him. You got to guarantee some money. Get over it. Do the deal. You have 2 pass rushers right now that are sitting at home and not at your camp.
Yeah.
And you just paid these receivers because you're going for it now. If you're going for it now, that doesn't mean you half step into it. That means you fully jump into it. Stop being the Bengals. Go figure it out. It's super easy. All right. Peter Burns, SEC Network, joins us live, boots on the ground from Omaha, Nebraska, when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to GoTommys.com. That is Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. They are the best in Baton Rouge. That is not just us telling you that. That is the Advocate telling you that. They won Best Window Company in the city. Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. You'll clearly see the difference. Go to the website today. Look at testimonials, past client results. Also, check out that gallery of work that they've done. I mean, it's got it broken down, doors, windows, and you probably guessed it, siding. It's even got like an other tab of different things that they can do for you, because I always tell you about it, right? They can customize your job. You have them come out, tell them what you're looking for, and they'll get it done. If you want to pick up the phone, give them a call, have a conversation with them, 225-250-8808, but always online on their website. That's GoTommys.com.
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in OTB here on a Friday morning. Going to go to the phone lines now. We got our boy PB, Peter Burns, boots on the ground there in Omaha, Nebraska. PB, what's up, sir?
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Did you just hit me with some mystical this morning? Like I'm in a good spot. Like I'm a little hungover from last night, but now that I'm hearing mystical at 9:30, I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I mean today, Jordan, our producer, has done a great job. All Louisiana basically today. Everything's about Louisiana and LSU. We're trying to send good vibes there to you in Omaha.
We're gonna need it. It is it's a weird vibe because we got out here. Normally we get out here for the first day, and we always have an SEC team to cover. And now, like this whole side of the bracket doesn't have any SEC squads.
Yeah.
And it's the fewest amount of SEC squads that we've had here since I think 2016, back when Coastal Carolina went. So the vibes are a little bit different so far. But let's be honest with you, LSU still winning the Jello Shot Challenge. So we at least got the good vibes that are going on at Rocco's right now.
Yeah, the surest bet I think in Omaha is that LSU is going to drink the most Jello shots and UCLA is going to drink the least amount of Jello shots.
I mean that was like does Flynn still have the same energy on a Friday as he have it on Monday? Like these are things that we are all trying to figure out here as the show continues to roll on. Yeah.
Yeah, PB, how about this, right? So Flynn takes over for T-Bob. He does 7 straight days, was feeling himself after doing 7 straight days. And then he's in Turks and Caicos there for the last 3 days.
I don't blame him. Honestly, at that point, like that's why I do 3 days of radio a week. I'm just like, man, if I had to put up a tester for 5 straight days, I'd probably need that. Like this is what's impressive is that was part of his contract when doing the morning show with you. Yeah. That Gordy and the guys were like, yeah, you're right. Let's go ahead. That'll work. You know, so 7 days on. It's like the guys that work offshore outside of Homa. It's like 7 days on, 2 weeks off in Turks and Caicos. It works well.
I know.
Load managing OTB. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, that is such a Flynn thing. Like, we set the line, and we asked, like, everybody that came on, I think it was Joe Sloan that came on. We're like, hey, what's Flynn's line? Like, if you're in Vegas setting a line for every week, how many days he's going to make it? He set it at 3.5, and that feels like the perfect number.
Yeah, I mean, 3.5 is a good number. I feel like at that point, though, like he can't put money on it because then he would go to and actually place the money on for like the over, just because the odds are in his favor and he'd be there. But no, man, it's fun. This is my favorite week. I mean, we broke it down with Todd Walker yesterday. David DeLucci will be out here tomorrow at Baton Rouge. The councilman.
That's right.
We'll be out here breaking it down. But I mean, right from the jump, man. LSU, Arkansas, good versus good. I had Dave Van Horn on yesterday, and I tell you what, like I definitely 1,000% pull for LSU. But if Arkansas wins this whole thing, it ain't going to kill me because it is Dave Van Horn, man. Like that guy.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot this week.
Yeah, like he told a story about how he was trying to get Todd Walker to commit when he was a Texarkana JUCO coach. And he's like, man, I was trying, and I was like, I had Todd Walker locked in. Like Todd Walker's coming to Texarkana, baby. It's going to be great. And then Skip Bertman's like, you want to come to LSU? And Todd's like, yep, see ya. It worked out well.
Yeah, worked out well for Todd. Todd did okay for himself there. And, there's only 2 SEC teams, and so it is different than past years, and they're playing each other. But it is going to be a heavyweight pay-per-view Mike Tyson in 1987 title bout. Like, it is going to be like 2 of the best fan bases, I think the 2 best fan bases in college baseball in Omaha, rooting against each other. So it might only be 2 teams, PB. They might be playing each other. But whatever the peak of an opening round game in Omaha can be, that's what you're going to see tomorrow night.
Yeah, Saturday night,
right? I mean, the weather's supposed to be great. I mean, LSU fans have already shown up here in droves. I've seen a lot of Razorback fans as well, too. And the importance, Esther, of winning game one, right? Out of the last 43 champions, 39 of them won their game one. And actually, every time that LSU's won it, all 7 times that they've won a title, they won their first game. So the importance of, Cade versus, Zach Root is incredible. Now, me and Todd last night were talking about, the lineup and how Jay's been changing up the lineup, which, again, he said, hey, these guys aren't major leaguers. They aren't just set to one place in the lineup. We can move them around depending on how we do it. But we started getting this may be 9 drinks in last night. We're like, wait a minute. If you're looking at the entire bracket and you assume UCLA, odds are that they'll take out Murray State tomorrow, like they beat them. UCLA has a ton of lefties. And so do you save Cade and throw him in the second one, and then you throw Ianson, who absolutely crushed Arkansas lineup that last time? And Todd looks at me and he goes, yeah, we need to stop drinking. That might be a bridge too far.
So we had Mikey Matuk here for an hour with us today, PB, and we were talking about some of the different scenarios and different things, and kind of the same conversation. He's just like, look, you don't overthink this deal. It's Omaha. It's game one. You go out there and you just get it done. But honestly, no matter how LSU format, if it was Ianson today and they had Anderson, or Anderson and then Ianson, nobody is set up in this tournament. This isn't just purple and gold glasses between you and I. Nobody in this tournament is set up better for a game 2 on the mound than LSU, regardless if it's in the winner's bracket or loser's bracket.
Yeah, because there's a 1A, 1B, right? I mean, this is not, at 23, it was Schemes was your guy, and then you threw everybody else, and you had some good starters as well and a good bullpen, but it was more of you had your one workhorse.
Yeah.
Now it's like, all right, well, you got that. And then the way that Evans pitched, and he shoved last time with 9 straight strikeouts. I mean, you're like, all right, well, we've got that set up as well. I'll be honest with you. Cooper Williams, the freshman.
Yeah.
I mean, him doing that. And that was such a high leverage spot. I couldn't believe how well he pitched, because I got worried in that game. It's 4-2. The vibes were just dead in the box. And when he got when he came out there just painting the plate. I mean, he was spotting at everything he wanted to. That got the crowd back into it, and then LSU bats got into it, and then they were off to the races.
What's the weather like there in Omaha, PB? It's terrible here in Baton Rouge, and we know if we had a regional or super regional that this thing wouldn't get started until probably 10 p.m. What's the weather like there in Omaha?
I mean, hot and alcoholic. That's basically because LSU is in town. Actually, what's funny is they were telling me that they had been really crappy weather all year long. It had been just nasty, rainy, and this was the first sunny week that they've had. And this thing, man, and Hester, I think you've done it before, and so many of the people listening have made the trek up here. If you haven't, it's as good of a bucket list item, because it's probably the last really, really pure sporting event that I think that's out there. OKC is good for Women's College World Series as well too. But man, this event, this ballpark's downtown, the bars are downtown, the restaurants are great, everybody's in a good mood, and Nebraska has basically, in Omaha, has adopted LSU because of the success over the last 4 decades.
Yeah, we were talking about that all throughout the week. It's not like college football. It's not like the Final Four where it rotates. And I get, why it does that. I understand the dollars and cents of it. But to have one spot, and you mentioned Oklahoma City in softball, and baseball, it's Omaha, to have like that one spot that this is what we're working towards. We're working towards Omaha, and you can envision it. You can see yourself in that stadium. We don't have anything like that. And it does remind me, I was saying this earlier, about high school football in Louisiana. It was all about getting to the Superdome. Get to the Superdome. Right. You broke it down on Superdome, in July. And that's kind of what Omaha has, and we just don't have that anymore. So it's just a completely different feel. Like you and I have covered games. Like I covered a national championship game between Georgia and TCU in L.A. Not a swinging soul knew we were there to cover that game. Right. When you drive up or pull up to Omaha, you know exactly why you're there.
Oh, I'm getting my rental car, here at the airport, and they're like, who's your team? And I asked the guy, who's the team? He's like, man, LSU. And I like, okay. I was like, are you from there? He goes, nope. He goes, I just love it because like everybody has made this like a destination. Yep. He's like, every time I get here, he goes, I love fan. Like he's like, we see all different types of fan base. He's like, I don't like Texas fan base. He's like, they're not cool. He's like, the Pac-12 teams, like they were never really kind of cool to us. He's like, LSU fans, like as soon as they show up, you know who they are, and they're like the nicest people. And I'm like, well, all right, you haven't been to a Tiger, you haven't been to a Saturday night in Death Valley wearing the other team's colors yet, but it's going to be good, man. And again, we were breaking down Arkansas yesterday, like, and their fans have been great too. And that lineup is, I mean, they did all that work in regionals and in super regionals, and the Lloyd brothers didn't even play well.
Right.
Like that's the scary part right now. This Davalon kid at the top of the lineup this kid is unbelievable.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Predictions on maybe how it goes. You can give me LSU Arkansas. I know you're working for the network, so if you want to leave that one off, that's fine. But like maybe day one between all the games, Coastal Arizona, Oregon State, Louisville, UCLA, Murray State. How do you see that playing out, PB?
Yeah, I mean, I like Coastal. It's not just a 23, 24 game win streak. It's just they do everything really well, and it does it. And just watching them in practice yesterday, I mean, like there's certain people you can tell that like they're taking it in. You're like, wow, this is awesome. Like Coastal looked like a team that's like, yeah, this is game 75 of a 162 game series. You know, like just the way that they've carried themselves. I like Coastal on that side of the bracket. And honestly, and I know it's going to be a cop out, but I like Coastal versus the winner of Saturday night between LSU and Arkansas. I mean, it's that simple because you get such a leg up when you win that first game in Omaha, and you know this is basically like the Spider-Man meme of Arkansas and LSU pointing at each other right now.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly there, man. It is going to be, again, just must-watch TV, just a heavyweight title bout. Can't wait to watch it. PB, on the way out, like Derek Dooley used to tell us, they will brew more beer in Omaha. You don't have to consume it all in one night.
We're going to try. And listen, I think we'd have been in good shape had we just stuck the beer. We'll just put it that way. If we just stuck the beer, we'd be in good shape.
Fair enough.
So, I'll rally for our show at 10 p.m. tonight, so I'll be okay.
PB, you're the man. We appreciate you joining us, man. Enjoy the trip, and if LSU makes it to the championship series, sir, I will try to find my way to be there with you.
We'll find Matt Flynn's private jet, and we'll make sure we do the show from up there.
Yeah, okay? That's not too far off what I'm thinking. So
we'll spend some of that Seattle Seahawks trust fund money. So I'm in.
All right, PB, appreciate it.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, Peter Burns, Boots on the Ground, SEC Network, colleague at SiriusXM, enjoying Omaha as Peter Burns always does. All right, we will take our last break of the week, finish it up like we always do, getting to your Ask the Bench questions right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the bench.
So we got bad weather here right now, right? I mean, just dark skies, rain. So we got some bad weather coming. Can you imagine if you were getting ready to watch the game tomorrow night, your power goes out and you haven't had Boudreaux's Electrical over to install that whole home generator? Because if you have had them out, you got peace of mind. You got no worries. It's going to happen, and then boom, you're going to hear that quiet little and it's the best sound in the world because you know, oh man, my whole home generator has kicked on, game's on, we're good. We got lights, air conditioner, the snacks are good, the beer's good. But if you don't, you're gonna be lonely on the dance floor because you're not gonna have power and you're not gonna have a game. So have that peace of mind with Boudreaux's. More power, more protection. BoudreauxElectrical.com.
Get it ready. Check this out. Talk that stuff now. Roll with it. Talk that stuff now. Roll with it.
From players to legends, Hester and Flynn break down LSU football like only champions can.
I do find it hilarious that J.D. Pickell thought Flynn was here the whole time still.
Hey, you can't. You just got to give him the benefit of the doubt sometimes. You know, you got to hit him with the, thanks for talking, Matt. You know, thanks for chiming in.
Yeah, like he's an Ivy Leaguer. He's smarter than all of us, so maybe he just outplayed us all.
Mind games.
Ask the bench, did we spend enough time enjoying Tennessee going down?
Yes. I don't really think about Tennessee that much. Like, yeah, I spend enough time.
Best airline snack food. Oh, those little cookies on
Biscoff
Delta.
cookies.
Oh, those things in coffee are elite.
Easily.
They are elite. Long road trip, first stop to get gas. What's the go-to snack and drink? I'm going to go coffee for sure with the drink. Maybe energy drink, depending on what it's like. Snack, that thing changes. Versatile with my snacks. I can go beef jerky. I can go candy. I can go a lot of different. I can go trail mix.
It
I
depends
can go
on the
sunflower seeds.
I always go Dr. Pepper, king size Snicker.
You have like the worst eating habits.
I do.
Ask the bench. Have you seen the new Mission Impossible movie? No, but I really, really, really want to. I got 5 kids. It's not easy to get to the movie theater.
Oh yeah.
Favorite city to visit more than once? That would be San Diego, California. My favorite city outside of Louisiana.
I love Nashville.
Denver's
great too.
Yeah, Denver was cool. Denver felt like there was in 2027. Like, they just felt futuristic out there.
Ask the bench, best website to look up baseball card value. Hey, we got some baseball card, football card news coming here from this show pretty soon. Me and Flynn working on something. When he gets back next week, we'll tell you more about it. We'll be back next week. Go Tigers. Go beat the hell out of the Hogs.
Off the bench.
Please do not have me doing Woo Pig Suey in Atlanta for SEC Media Days. Please don't do that to me. Go to KTOZBlinds.com. KTOZBlinds.com is the website. That's K2Z Interiors and Outdoor Living. Been doing it since 2004. Brandon Barton and the team going to come to your house, know your space better than you do in 5 to 10 minutes. What do I mean by that? They're going to come in. Here's where the sun comes in. Here's where we can help you out. Here's where we can cool this room down. Here's where we can shade this room. They did it for me. I saw it firsthand. They come in. They're like, yeah, we're going to put the motorized shade right here. All right. When you drop that, it's going to take away the sunlight from this sunroom. It's going to get rid of that glare that's on your TV when you're trying to watch the big game. And they know your space better than you do. It is an incredible thing to witness. Have them come out to your home. Schedule today. Go to the website, KTOZBlinds.com.